Elizabeth Arden Cream.
Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, but wait, what's that noise? Is it the sound of the atom splitting? Is it the sound of an eruption perhaps over in Monty Shit Show? No, that is the klaxon that alerts us to the fact that there has been exposure. Yes, exposure of the fact that a fib, a porky pie, an untruth has been uncovered and detected and exposed with regard to Harry's wife. The issue of lies and narcissists is something that goes hand in hand. Unaware narcissists tell lies, believing them to be their truth. They have to believe them as their truth because they're not effective enough to lie with knowledge that would cause them to hesitate, and hesitation is fatal. You, for instance, where you might be walking along the road and happen to hear gunfire, you wouldn't stand there and think, "That's gunfire. I think it is. Yes, definitely gunfire. Yes, what should I do now? I suppose I'd better get on the floor to avoid being, oh dear, you've just been shot." Instead, as soon as you hear it, you crouch down, get behind cover. You have an instinctive reaction. If somebody jumps out of you in a dark alleyway, you don't go, "Oh, somebody's jumped out of me in a dark alleyway. They might mean to attack me, therefore I'd better be startled and jump back to protect myself," because by then it's too late and they've issued some kind of harm towards you. Instead, you give a yell and you jump backwards. It's an instinctive response. Narcissism for the unaware narcissist operates in a similar way. Instinctive, instantaneous, because any delay would be fatal to the need to maintain control and would harm the narcissist. And therefore the narcissism operates in that instinctive way to protect the relevant narcissist. On that basis, the unaware narcissist doesn't know that they're telling lies because the narcissism doesn't allow them to see it. Through the distortion field that is their narcissism, it causes them to believe that what they're saying is the truth, even though that can alter from moment. With an aware narcissist, we know that we're telling lies, but we're so accomplished at it we can do it instantaneously with utter conviction, and because we simply do not care, it has no adverse consequence for us in terms of the pursuit of the prime aims. It is a common belief, albeit a mistaken one, that narcissists lie all of the time. We don't. As I've explained in my groundbreaking video, The Truth, the Half-Truth and Nowhere Near the Truth, there will be occasions that a narcissist will use the truth as you understand it, if it is to our advantage. So, for example, Piers Morgan, when he called out Harry's wife for her lying, many people saw that she indeed was doing so. He wasn't telling a lie when he said that, but his narcissism utilized that for him to assert control and draw fuel. He used the truth for the benefit of the prime aims. Similarly, there are those that say to me, "HG, as an admitted and diagnosed narcissistic psychopath, how can we trust anything that you say? You're a liar, yes?" Well, there are times, of course, where I will utilize lies and have done so extensively and will continue to do so, but I don't through my work here. Why? The truth serves a purpose for me. By telling you the truth of the way that my kind operate and think, the way that we function, the way that we see the world, I achieve the prime aims, and therefore it benefits me to utilize that truth. However, there are many instances of where a particular narcissist will tell lies, and they are oft used. So whilst we may use the truth as you know it to be, there are many occasions where the narcissist will tell lies, and we've seen this repeatedly with regard to the things that Harry's wife has said. And therefore, it's worth the visiting of a Newsweek article which uncovers yet more porky pies that have been issued from that particular mouth. And an article by Jack Royston reveals as follows. Harry's wife was photographed out in London during years when she told Oprah Winfrey, in the bombshell interview, that she barely left the house, according to a biography. The Duchess of Sussex described how she had been told not to see friends because she was oversaturated in the media and should lie low. However, biographer Andrew Morton wrote that she had been seen getting lunch or dinner in London's trendy Notting Hill or going for beauty treatments, while paparazzi images were turned down by British newspapers. In new chapters for Harry's Wife, a Hollywood Princess, he wrote, "She also claimed that over one 4-month period she had only twice left the house, again indicating that she was a lonely prisoner hidden away by the men in grey." Pity play. Yet she was seen out on numerous occasions, dinner and lunch appointments in Notting Hill, beauty treatments in Kensington, and various shopping trips. Though she was snapped by the paparazzi, British newspapers declined to buy photographs of these excursions. Morton did not go into detail about why the press turned down the images, although the United Kingdom regulation bars the use of material obtained through intimidation, harassment, or persistent pursuit, which would include photographers following celebrities. Harry's wife told Oprah, "I remember so often people within the firm would say, 'Well, you can't do this because it'll look like that. You can't.' So even, 'Can I go and have lunch with my friends?' No, no, no. You're oversaturated. You're everywhere. It would be best for you not to go out to lunch with your friends." I go, "Well, I haven't left the house in months." That comment at the time has been proven to be untrue. It was issued, of course, in that moment, because Harry's wife's narcissism at that moment she was speaking to Oprah needed to assert control over both Oprah, not too difficult as she exhibited the forensic analysis of a gummy bear, and also, of course, over those that would be watching the interview. And her narcissism selected the telling of a lie by virtue of linking it to a pity play, by saying, "I've been told I can't go anywhere, and therefore I didn't leave the house in months." Now, it might be the case that she was told that she was oversaturated. And I can well believe that did happen, because, of course, in tandem with her narcissism, governed by it, she needs to be seen left, right, and centre, because that enables her to assert control, it allows her to draw fuel, etc. So it's highly likely that she was told this. However, she will not have complied with it. Why? Well, it amounted to a threat to control, and driven by her sense of entitlement and absence of accountability, she would have continued to do what she wanted, driven by her narcissism, and to reject the request or instruction not to go out. So as a consequence, it may well have been the case that she was told that she ought not to do that because of overexposure, but she certainly didn't comply with it. And then to say that she hadn't left the house in months has now been demonstrated by Mr. Morton's material that that was inaccurate, and it was a lie linked to a pity play, issued in the moment by her narcissism rewriting history to convince her that she had not left the house in months. It's important for you to understand, although many people struggle to get their heads around this, she did not sit there thinking, "I know I've been backwards and forwards from the house, and I've been out loads, but I'm still going to tell a lie." Remember, that would take too long to think through, and the pursuit of the prime aims needs to be more or less instantaneous. So instead, her narcissism causes her to truly believe that she hasn't been out of the house in months. She believes what she's saying. The lie is her truth, and therefore she issues it. Continuing with the article, which continues to quote Harry's wife, she stated, there was a day that one of the members of the family, she came over and she said, "Why don't you just lay low for a little while, because you're everywhere right now." And I said, "I've left the house twice in 4 months. Pity play, lie. I'm everywhere, but I'm nowhere. And from that standpoint, I continue to say to people, I know there's an obsession with how things look, but has anyone talked about how it feels? Because right now, I could not feel lonelier." Pity play, revision of history. Morton wrote, she also felt silenced and trapped by the system. Her passport, driver's license and keys were taken away from her, as though she was entering an open prison. That didn't stop her, though, from making numerous speeches on female empowerment, equality, and other issues while travelling around the world on private and commercial aircraft. It was a curious kind of muzzling. And again, of course, last time I looked, going around the world on private and commercial aircraft did require you to have a passport, and therefore to suggest that they were taken away from her is also a revision of history and a lie, and was issued again as a pity play at the time. The article continues. Morton wrote the definitive biography of Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales, with her help in 1992, Diana, Her True Story. The book exposed Prince Charles's affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, infidelity, a key behaviour of the narcissist, now the Duchess of Cornwall for the first time. Harry's Wife, A Hollywood Princess, was first published in 2018, but has been re-released with new chapters, seen by Newsweek. They describe how, following bleak years of division, jealousy and mistrust within the royal family, Harry's wife and Harry now have a brighter future outside the palace, living in California. The book states the locals affected disinterest, as the small town of Monte Shitshow itself is awash with old money and celebrities. It is seriously uncool to point and stare at the latest headline arrivals. I've seen Brad Pitt in Whole Foods, and it's no big deal, recounted one property agent. From time to time, a group of ladies who walk would pass by their home and drop a cheery curtsy in front of the security cameras. It was all very friendly and laid back. The Sussexes quietly and quickly absorbed into the local community. He added, with the beach close by and hills surrounding them, their home was ideally placed for hiking, cycling and surfing. Inside the compound, there were eggs from Archie's Chick Inn, and herbs and vegetables, or herbs, as our transatlantic cousins would say. I always find it entertaining hearing that. From the extensive gardens, this was indeed the good life. This article by Newsweek demonstrates two lies that have been told, essentially to say that she was not permitted to go anywhere and wasn't able to go anywhere, but quite clearly did because she was repeatedly photographed, and the research by Mr. Morton has uncovered that, and also suggests that her passport was taken away from her, which again has been demonstrated to be untrue as a consequence of the fact that she was jetting around on both commercial and private aircraft. Therefore, this is an article which exposes more of the untruths that came out of the bombshell Oprah Winfrey interview. More and more lies have been uncovered, demonstrated, and it adds also to the fact that not only were untruths told, but they were told at a point in time when Harry's grandfather was seriously ill, indeed lay dying, and exhibits the fact of telling these lies, although of course she believed them to be the truth, underpins the absence of emotional empathy to make such exposures at that time with regard to extended members of the family. The Newsweek article gives us added insight into the dynamic of the narcissist with regard to the mindset towards the telling of lies, how they are used for the assertion of control and the drawing of fuel, and how they will be linked to other manipulations, for example, in this instance, by way of pity play. I'm H.G. Tudor. Please ensure that you like this video. Plenty of you watch them, but the likes need to go up. I insist upon it. And I will be using my like detector. It will bleep if you're too slow in liking, and that will mean that I may have to cause a little visit through some of my minions, to crawl through the gutters, through the sewage pipes, down your chimney, through that open window, to come and pay you a visit, and to start to pull on your feet in your sleep. And you wouldn't want that, would you? So do like the videos. I always look forward to your comments also, and please share the videos as far and wide as you possibly can. Thank you.